The international airport makes Larnaca the gateway to Cyprus for many tourists. There are regular buses from the airport to the city. But please note that payment is made in cash to the driver. As for public transportation, it is not very well developed in Cyprus, especially within the cities. Intercity bus service is more developed, but intercity buses or minibuses run mainly between the main cities, but the schedule is sometimes not particularly convenient. The best way to get around Cyprus is to rent a car. The roads here are of good quality and the main towns are connected by autobahns. However, keep in mind that the traffic here is left-handed. This should always be remembered, even if you are traveling on foot. As a legacy of Great Britain, Cyprus has not only left-hand traffic, but also a different type of sockets, English style with 2 horizontal and 1 vertical pin, so buy an adapter in advance. Larnaca is located on the site of the ancient city-state of Kition. Larnaca is the 3rd largest city after Nicosia and Limassol and one of the oldest cities in Cyprus with a rich 1000-year history. This destination is popular among tourists. The availability of direct flights from many cities and relatively low ticket prices has made traveling to the island easy, affordable and desirable. Larnaca is a coastal city that is famous for its beautiful beaches, ancient history and vibrant culture. The city has a beautiful Finicudis promenade with tall date palms. Usually, getting to know the city starts from here. It is said that in the 20s of the last century, when they were planning and organizing the embankment and planting date palms, the famous promenade in Nice was taken as a model for imitation. Along the promenade is one of the best beaches in town, with many restaurants, bars, and taverns. During the day they are practically empty, and in the evening sometimes you will not find a place, especially in season. But take into account that it is very hot in Cyprus in summer. And those who want to prolong their summer, go to the island in November. At this time the air temperature here is within 25 degrees Celsius and the weather is perfect for hiking and exploring the island. But there are also fans of November sunbathing and swimming on the beach. Next to the promenade is Europe Square. Here you will see the restored buildings of the former British administration, the fountain seagulls in flight and the statue to the great philosopher Zeno of Kition. The city's main seaport is also a great place for strolling and is located right across from Europe Square. Here it is pleasant to walk along the wooden pier, along the boats and yachts. Here you can also buy a ticket for a sea excursion. The main historical sites of Larnaca are located near the seafront. Among them the Church of St. Lazarus should be emphasized. This is the main shrine of Cyprus and one of the main shrines of the whole Christian world. The church was built in the 9th century on the tomb of Lazarus, the one whom, according to the Holy Scriptures, Jesus Christ raised from the dead. The saint's relics were found here during renovation some 50 years ago. Lazarus later became the Bishop of Kition, a city-state that was located on the site of modern Larnaca. The church is very beautiful, especially the wooden carved iconostases and chandeliers. Behind the church there is a very pretty quarter and colourful narrow crooked streets with wooden gates on the houses, massive wrought iron bars on the windows, balconies covered with grapes and roses. There are many souvenir shops, restaurants and cafes. When you order a dish, take note that the portions in Cyprus are quite large. I advise you to try traditional mezes, which consists of many Cypriot dishes, cold and hot, but in small quantities. There are vegetarian meat and fish mezes. Also popular is souvlaki, the crowning dish of Cypriot cuisine, char-grilled pieces of meat. Souvlaki goes perfectly with a Greek salad and a cold beer. It is the most affordable and common dish. Fans of archaeological excavation should visit the ruins of Kition. The ancient city of Kition is the ancestor of modern Larnaca, the oldest polis of Cyprus, once one of the centers of Phoenician and Mycenaean civilizations, the center of development and spread of Christianity. Kition was the place where the Greek philosopher Zeno, who founded the Stoic school of philosophy, was born, and where Lazarus, the friend of Christ, found refuge. Well, for those who love castles and fortresses, head straight to the Larnaca fort, which is located at the end of the promenade. It was the first fortification of the Byzantine era and was built to protect the southern coast of Cyprus and then turned into a prison. It has been rebuilt, smashed and rebuilt again many times. Inside there is a museum and a small garden. The walls of the fort offer views of the sea and the seafront. Next to the fort there is a very colourful street called Kleanti Kalogera. There are many old buildings along which it is pleasant to stroll during the day. In the evening, however, it is quite crowded and noisy due to the bars and nightclubs located here. Another colourful place in the city is the Turkish quarter Scala. Walk along the promenade along the fort walls and delve into the old part of this neighbourhood. It is a great contrast to the Finikoudiz promenade. Instead of expensive hotels and apartments, countless restaurants and bars, in front of you will be poor houses built closely together. There are exceptions, as well as cute cafes and restaurants that you'll want to visit. At the end of the quarter is Mackenzie Beach, which is popular with those who love unusual photos. The thing is that due to the proximity of the airport, airplanes that come in for landing fly right over your heads. A stone's throw away from Mackenzie Beach is Salt Lake. When the water dries up, the lake is covered with a crust of salt and a mirror-like surface can appear in the sunlight. But the main feature of this lake is the pink flamingos that come here in October, nest, breed and leave Larnaca in April. While here, you will definitely notice the mosque on the other side of the lake. This is the Holla Sultan Tek Mosque, the fourth largest shrine in the Muslim world after Mecca, Medina, and the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. According to legend, the mosque was erected on the resting place of a distinguished woman named Haram. Some sources refer to her as the nurse or foster mother of the Prophet Muhammad himself. The mosque has stood on the shores of the lake for 3 centuries. Services are held twice a year on major holidays. The rest of the time the shrine is open to the public and can be visited during the daytime. The park along the lake between bamboo thickets leads to the ancient Kamaz aqueduct. It was not built by the Romans, but by the Ottomans in the middle of the 18th century to supply the city with water. Only a small part of this structure has survived to this day. Many people come to Cyprus and Larnaca in particular for diving, and the best time to go diving is from May to November. One of the most popular dive sites, one of the top 10 most interesting underwater sites in the world, is the ferry Zenobia, which sank here in 1980 with 108 trucks on board. Fortunately, no people were harmed. Its length is 180 meters. The most probable cause of the catastrophe experts call a failure in the computer system of balancing the ship, as a result of which it got a roll and went down. After a busy day, take an evening stroll around the city, walk the streets that were deserted during the day, sit in a restaurant and listen to Greek melodies. In November, Larnaca looks unusual on warm evenings with Christmas illuminations and a large Christmas tree.